You're listening to What She Said on Canada Talks.
Christine Bentley and Kate Wheeler in studio, but also joined by Lee and Meg. And I'm just going to warn you now, I don't know where this is going to go with these two, because who knows, right? There's just no...
Well, it's meant to be all about welcome to the hood, motherhood.
Right.
Yes.
And you never know what you're going to get.
No.
Motherhood's down and dirty and sometimes dangerous.
And it's unexpected.
And you're going into March break, so of course there must be major anxiety in the Lee and Meg hood.
I wish I was going to St. Bart's. That's what I wish I was doing. Instead, people are calling it a staycation. I'm just calling it being at home.
Yeah, but all these parents are saying, oh, it's just great, the family time we're going to have together. And I know. Tell us how it real...
No, I mean, maybe that Monday you wake up and you think, I don't have to make lunches, I don't have to yell when you get dressed and brush their teeth. And then by Monday lunchtime, you're like, this isn't going that well.
Right.
That's why mine went to day camp.
I know. I'm thinking that there's a couple of little opportunities where we live where you can drop them off. Especially at this gymnastics place. I'm like, that could get very attractive by, let's say, Monday afternoon. Right. There could be a drop-off happening Tuesday for sure.
I guess I understand kids need a week off school, I guess.
No, they just went back. Honestly, I feel like we were just here talking about Christmas. Now I'm like, wait a second.
I feel the exact same way. And now we've had the time change and everyone's out of sorts. It's like it's a full moon and we've all turned into werewolves or something. So I'm like, we're dealing with that and now you're giving us a week with them?
Yeah.
But anyway.
And June is almost upon us.
I know.
That makes me feel happy.
I know. That's one thing. On the one hand, I mean, this weather has been making me feel elated. We're outside. We're getting the sunshine.
We both diagnosed ourselves with seasonal affectiveness disorder. They decided full out we were depressed.
Hangover.
I'm trying to... are you hungover or are you... What is going on
February?
Here? I'm like, I have to... Honey, I'm telling my husband, I'm like, I've got to go away. I have sad. He's like, what are you talking about?
So you're supposed to be, mommy experts.
Yes.
I mean, if there's such a thing.
You're supposed to be. But anyway...
we tell everyone that.
I know. But we've caught you on Candid Camera.
I actually love saying it to people and saying it seriously, and they're like, oh. Like, people that know me are like, what? I'm like, I'm a mommy expert. If you guys have a question, you can ask me. And they're like,
come to me.
And they're almost horrified, like...
Which one of you has three?
We both have three.
Do, Kate. I'm way out of my depth. Megan wants 4. I am like,
You shouldn't have let them outnumber you. That was the problem.
I know, right? Stick on with
You know why? I thought I could play zone defense. And my husband has no idea what zone defense is. So it's always me covering the space and him getting sucked into one kid's world. And I'm like, now I got 2 of them. Hello.
Right. Lee tells people quite honestly that she was a
mother
of 2. Should have been a mother of 2, but has 3 and is just trying to cope now in that world.
And you want another one?
I would have had another one. I have 3. I would have gone for 4.
Really?
Megan sees babies in pride.
I just wanted another child.
So when you see these shows where they have 19 kids or 11 kids, and you do the old? Is it just the older ones raise the younger ones?
Totally.
You just walk away.
Listen, I would like to say I will argue that 4 is a way different ball game than 11 or 19, but. Even now, my oldest is 10, and I see him with his little cousins, and he's picking him up and putting him in his chair, and you realize that's what happens. Yeah. The other ones just step in as sort of a parental figure, and the parents are off making another one.
Well, that's what Julie does with Mabel's labels, right?
Yeah.
She says...
She has 6 kids, doesn't she?
She has 6 kids, and she's basically, by the age of, 4, as soon as they're out the door, they're making their own lunches. She says people that don't have them trained to do this, and it's like... And she's all natural consequences. You leave without your gloves, I'm not dropping them off. You leave without your homework, I'm not dropping them off.
There's a big difference there in how she parents, because she's making her kids responsible from the get-go, which I feel like when you've got the 1 or the 2 or the 3, you're so and you feel like a bad mom if, you're not picking up after them or you're not following them around, where I think you get to the point where you're going to lose your sanity. Like, you have to be like, no, this is how it's going down.
I even know mothers who, they may have 3 children, and this one doesn't like this, and this one doesn't like that. And I remember growing up with a family across the street, and she made, 9 different vegetables and made 2 or 3 different meat dishes because this... she basically ran a short order restaurant, and she did it all day. So there were meals, and then there was snack. I feel like a grilled cheese. She would drop everything and I thought, oh my God! you could lose yourself in that.
Christine, Lee and I just blogged about this last week, how we do a pretty good job, if I will say something positive about the two of us, about making real food at dinner time and sort of being like, this is, maybe our meal has like a slight variance, but this is what's for dinner.
Or extra sriracha or something.
But we're still not 100% at it, and we kind of got to the point where we were fed up. It's like, if I decide to make pad thai for dinner, we're having pad thai, and I'm going to watch you be like, this is disgusting, and we're going to deal with it, because I'm not doing it anymore, and I wasn't even doing it to that extent, which to me is just, that's what you're doing. You're creating a little diner where you are a short order cook, and isn't there enough to do in a day rather than prepare 52 different meals because someone likes broccoli, someone likes green beans?
The rule in our house was, if you didn't like what dinner was, there's fruit and yogurt and peanut butter and bread. Off you go. That's,
Kate, what we did. This is what's for dinner. If you don't like it, these are your options. You can have a real piece of fruit, a real piece of vegetable, or some nuts, or a yogurt.
Yeah,
have
but
fun.
I mean, I was fairly considerate. I didn't serve liver. I love liver. I would go out and have liver at a restaurant.
I do. I'm one of the few people that
my mom grew up.
What are you guys talking about? Liver.
I love liver. Now, my mother used to make it, and both my sisters hated it, and she would have to sit there till 9 o'clock at night until she ate it because they were a different generation. So I wasn't, a complete bee about it.
Right.
Like, I wasn't, abusive about it.
Right.
But reasonable stuff.
Yes.
My kids used to take pate sandwiches, because I'd make liver pate, to school, and they go, well, this is really posh. The teachers would say, this is pretty snappy. I go, it's chopped liver. Like, they're eating it. Like, I just call it pate, and they like it. If it's liver, they hate it.
That's amazing.
We're talking with Lee and Meg, sisters, mothers, wives, devoted to wine drinking because of all three.
Mom experts.
Yeah.
Mom experts. I got my doubts. So yeah.
Oh, I have something for you.
Okay, hit us.
This isn't exactly on the meal plan, but it's on the drink plan. So I knew you would love this. Okay. Just come out. So this is freeze-dried powdered alcohol, has been approved by federal regulators, meaning the controversial novelty once called the Kool-Aid of teen binge drinking could hit liquor store shelves across the country by the summer. So you just add water.
Get out.
So it's like Kool-Aid for grown-ups.
So what is it? Like, what is it? Is it vodka? Is it gin? Like, do we know?
Wine?
It's called Palcohol.
It's a pal.
Good
for camping.
It was given the go-ahead by the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. So let me see. The company is called Lipsmark.
Okay.
It's going to sell booze in foil pouches that double as the glass. So you only have to pour in 5 ounces of water, zip up the bag, shake it up.
And you get what?
See.
This is good.
Please reach out to us. Please reach out.
Okay, so Mothers Against Drunk Driving obviously don't like this.
Right, they don't want to shaking a pack.
I don't know exactly here. Said the powders contain alcohol, natural flavoring, and sucralose. All varieties are gluten-free. Well, that's
good. Hey,
good. Then it's healthy.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through here about No, we don't have the menu. I'm sorry whether it's wrong.
That's fine.
Okay.
Lee and I don't discriminate, Christine.
I'm also a part-time investigative journalist, and something like an alcohol situation is something I will investigate.
You will investigate?
I will take this out.
I was thinking to myself that, if I had to do a little Christmas stocking for friends like you, this would be a perfect little thing to put in.
It would be. It would be funny.
I mean, because you could drop the bottle and break it. But this...
Hey, traveling with a bottle of wine in your purse can be awkward, but a little sachet,
it's classy.
And nobody would have to know.
No one knows.
No one's the wiser.
For the covert drinker out there, this is perfect.
Did you see the handbag that dispenses wine? I had it up
oh my gosh, I've seen it. It's hilarious.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's a large purse, but reasonable size purse that you have over your shoulder, and then you flip up the tab on the side, and the little spout comes out.
I love that. Our girlfriend got us these fantastic wine tumblers. Mm-hmm. So it's a proper tumbler, but inside is the wine glass. My only problem with it is, if I want to go to the park with my tumbler, you can see. I always go to the park with something you can't see through with juice in it. And then when the kids ask for a sip, I'm like, no!
So...
March break.
We have to get there. So you're both doing staycations?
It's like March mayhem. It shouldn't be called... I guess it's a break for teachers and kids, but for parents, it's it's like a real...
Hectic.
Yeah, unless you actually are going away to a sandy beach. Yeah, I don't know what parents that both
Or you're
appear
going
home
away
do.
to a resort where they have the kids club.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, I've
Right.
heard great things about the kids club. I've never gone to one of those resorts.
Our saving grace this winter and for March break is going to be Horseshoe Valley because that has saved my life over this winter season.
This winter has been crazy cold, and taking our kids skiing has been the most enjoyable part because we have to get outside with them or everybody goes nuts.
But it has been so cold that, I mean, I used to do that, and then they do one run, and the instructor brings them back and says, okay, they have to have a hot chocolate. So they do a run in the morning, and then a run in the afternoon because nobody wants to get sued because the child is now in hospital with hypothermia. So
I know it was difficult.
Now it should be great.
It was difficult in some of the weeks in February to get out there. It was pretty cold. But
I actually thought I was turning into like a wuss. I was like, why don't I want to go? It's not that cold. I gotta go. And then I was actually like perversely relieved when they said it was the coldest February we'd had. Yeah. Because I couldn't seem to find any reason to go outside. It was
well, you know, yesterday was so funny because it was beautiful, and I had to go to an appointment, and people were talking to me as I walked past them on the street, and it was sort of like, we've come out of hibernation, so March break, maybe they'll all be playing outside.
Tell them about the picture you took yesterday.
Yeah, so I'm walking past the Summerhill liquor store.
Of course.
Here we go.
And of course I had to go in. I didn't realize. I didn't have any wine, so I had to go in, right?
Yeah,
so
of course.
These two people are sitting there on a bench, just with their eyes closed and their faces up to the sun. And so, of course, I've got a new phone, an iPhone.
Nice.
And so I've never taken a picture. I have no idea what to do with it. So they showed me how to take a picture. Then they went back, closed their eyes. I took the picture. Then they showed me how to upload it onto Twitter.
I like that this all see why the LCBO is a good place.
Yeah. And I said, thank you. My first picture, you helped me with my iPhone. I can't believe it. Then some guy said, hey, do you want to buy a bus token for $50? The lady beside me, we talked about that for 6 blocks walking down the road. But I mean, 2 weeks ago it would have been, are you kidding? My scarf around me,
I know.
You're trying to survive.
Yeah.
It's awful.
But it's nice with the weather because you can kind of shoo them outside a bit.
It's true. And before the snow started to melt, we went skiing Monday night, and it was probably the most fun we had all winter. It was
glorious.
Beautiful. Everyone was having a good time. So we are really, really, really into outdoor activities because our kids can get a bit wild. It lets it be okay because we're outdoors.
Yeah, tubing. We go, tubing is another good venue for the kids.
Absolutely.
They can't really go wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what about sleepovers? Do you do a lot of those in March break? Where you kind of... You take a hit for the team one night, and somebody else takes a hit for the team another night?
Well, it's funny that you're saying this because I'm taking a hit Saturday night. My sister and my brother are going away for the evening, so I will have 8 children in my home. So that will be the only sleepover because my brother has 2 and she has 3, and then I have 3. I think is that 8?
You did it, Lee. You
Yay!
did it.
So why have you got your brothers as well?
Because he's going with them to the same...
Yeah, my brother and I and our spouses are going to a birthday party, which Lee is not going to, so she's watching all of our kids.
I wasn't invited. And instead of being sour, I'm happy to, take care of the children.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see
But
how
that'll
many
be the
of them
only people.
survive.
You know what's great? It's at the start of the March break, so it's going to be perfect. Like Lee gets that at the start, and then by because if it was the last weekend, I don't think I could. Actually, we're going to a wedding anyway, so you're going to be away that night. But so we're definitely outdoors, and we've had a great experience at Horseshoe. We're going to venture into this March break doing little science experiments that we can do at home. We actually my son is really into lighting things on fire. Obviously, that's fun, right?
Yeah, pyromania.
It's really,
is a healthy
drinking
part
and pyromania is what I want to share with you.
Yeah, those are our
today.
tips. Our tips and tricks are lighting stuff on fire and being drunk while you do it. That's what we're all about.
No, seriously, our younger
Parenting
brother,
experts.
our younger brother loved fire. It was just when the wood burning fire was on, he was really into it, and it's like he's passed that on to my son. My son gets captivated by it. So I found some really cool science experiments that talk about, air pressure and convection. And so we're going to light tea bags on fire, and he's going to love it.
This is what she said on Canada Talks 167 Sirius XM. And we just want to let you know that we, at what she said, are not advocating
No.
pyromania or, drunk parenting.
Just
I'm just putting it out there. I mean, we're just saying, we are not advocating this.
All right, so if you're not going skiing and you're not going to blow up and burn down the
house.
What else with March break?
We're sending our kids to a little cooking class, which is cool because
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's age appropriate from about, well, if it's under 5, you do it with your kids. 6 to, I think, 11 is the age grouping. Get to do a little half-day cooking school, which I think is great because sort of what we were talking about earlier with the making your own lunch, just exposing them to even more in the kitchen and letting them understand that they have a lot of capabilities in there.
Yeah.
I think there's a method to your madness here. But they do say that, families that cook together, it's really a good thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, but if the course gets them started, they learn how to grate and they learn...
Right. So
maybe not chopping.
No chopping. Yeah. Well, not. The one's going to be doing this fire show and the other one's going to have the chef knife just on chopping. Hey, honey, watch your finger.
Ow!
I'll be having my powdered palgarita or whatever it was called. Everything's going to be great. And then you know what else I'm doing this March break is I'm putting my 2 oldest in the St. John's Ambulance Stay Home Alone course.
Well,
so
perfect.
You're so responsible. What's wrong
I know
with you?
it sounds like I'm irresponsible, but on the other side, I'm tempering that with some responsibility. So they're going to learn about, how to be home alone, how to answer the phone.
How to treat burns.
Yeah, and if
How to
your
treat
brother
burns.
chops his finger off, what should you do?
I tried to sign my kids up, and they were like, they shouldn't be home alone. They're not old enough. And I was like, they're 7, 6, and 4. We can't do that. And they were like, no.
Do you know that legally there is actually no age? I always thought, to leave them home alone, it's when they think they're mature. I always thought it was, if you could have somebody babysit at 12, I always thought it must be safe to leave them home at 12. But they're actually...
It's interesting you say that because I thought it was 10, and that's why my son's
There
10,
is
and
no
I thought,
legal
he's
age.
legally
No,
allowed.
you can't. There
But
is no legal age.
The other day, someone was telling you about how you have to be 8.
To walk home alone around your street and stuff?
If someone thinks you're under 8, they can call the police, and we were like, I
So
jump
how
in.
old do you have to be to babysit?
12.
12, yes.
Oh, 12.
I mean, I'm
legally.
39, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're a different thing. So,
Touch
but
and
there's
go.
also a great babysitting course
Yes.
that kids can take,
Yes.
which is essentially what this course is,
Right.
only when you're having to look after somebody else as well.
Right.
So, St. John's Ambulance, how old did they say you have to be to take the course?
Well, 8, it starts for 8 years and up, they let you take this course. So that's an interesting question. I don't know.
But I mean, there are a lot of latchkey kids that are they might be 8 years old. They're only home for a couple of hours, but
Right.
really, are you going to put them in daycare at 8 years old? Because you're not home till 6 and they're home at 4:30?
It's amazing, Christine, how I feel like there are...
At 8, yeah.
There's no one is left to do
I feel that way too.
anything. Even my kids walk home from the bus, which is maybe 25 meters from my house. And my daughter's in kindergarten. She walks with her 2 older brothers. And the one bus driver wouldn't let her off to walk with her 2 brothers. And I'm like, I live right here. But it's different.
See, I was the paranoid mother that would have walked them home. So, no judgment.
No,
but
I don't care. You know me. I'm talking
yeah.
about pyromaniacs and alcohol. Hey, please judge me on the bus.
I was a latchkey kid. From 8, I would come home and let myself in, and then I guess my mom would get home first around. I was probably home for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
I just grabbed cookies and watched TV.
Mm-hmm.
But some kids, 8-year-old. There are 8-year-olds and 8-year-olds. Like I was an eldest, so I was sensible, or
Right.
so I was told.
So was I.
And but there are other 8-year-olds that are terrors, and you wouldn't leave them. So you kind of have to, you have to kind of gauge. Not all.
I think that's the
kids are
thing,
the
though.
same.
We want to try and assign an age number to it. Where my son, my middle child, is actually 6 months older than Lee's daughter, who's her eldest. And I would say my middle son is totally unaware and not someone that I really would feel comfortable leaving home. I can't. In 2 years' time, I'm like, I don't know. Where her daughter, I could see leaving her alone now at 7, even though it wouldn't happen.
Insane. Yeah.
But she's just so reasonable and responsible and mature.
Yeah.
But there you go, right? It is what it is. I mean, there's 14-year-olds that are complete knobs. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
There's adults.
There's 39-year-olds.
A lot of those.
How much fun is this?
Yeah.
Really. Who would want to be standing in an airport lineup to go to a beach?
Just
you know,
ridiculous. They're missing
six
out.
kids. I mean, the two of you and 6 kids and your powdered drink.
It's just, that's a great combination, really.
It is.
8 kids. Well, I hope you survive March break.
I hope you guys do too. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I've just come back. I was in Miami because my daughter had a university break the other last week.
Oh, that's nice, Kate.
Yeah,
that
it was
is
nice.
nice.
And before that, I was with the other daughter in Madrid. And
You know what? I'm going to turn away from you right now. Kate, what about you,
No.
Christine? What are you doing over March break?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about this
She's
because I'm
working.
so jealous.
Oh.
No, I'm working.
Oh.
We don't get
Okay.
March
But,
break
but it's
anymore.
okay.
I know,
But it's
right?
actually, you know, for people who don't have children, it's actually nice because the city's sort of cleaned out.
There's no traffic.
No traffic. People are gone with their children. I mean, and I live in an area where there are not a lot of young children, but you know, things aren't crowded.
Which
right?
is
you
nice.
go to the grocery store and it's sort of empty. Everything's
Right.
kind of empty, which is okay.
I know, I agree.
So March break is not an event
It's
in my life
changed.
anymore. It's not one of those milestones anymore.
I
But,
know. I know.
Yeah.
Kate still has reading weeks and things
Yeah,
with kids
university
in
reading
uni.
weeks. But they have 2 different reading weeks.
Which I don't. That's kind of cool in a way because then it's an excuse
it's
for you to
cool.
have to go.
Yeah, it's cool because she's forced to do 2 separate
That's
vacations.
Madrid, Miami.
Madrid,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Well, Alex was promoting the next step, season 2 launch for
Right,
Disney in
of
Madrid,
course.
so and in London at the CBBC. So that was fun, and she invited me to be her +1.
Yay!
That is
Good girl.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we got to spend a week in Miami with my other daughter, and her boyfriend came down for a few days, so that was nice. So it was good to spend time with them individually. As
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
because
but they're all old enough to stay home alone.
Yeah.
A lot of bonuses to
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
and throw parties.
And throw parties.
And
That's
buy
another-
powdered alcohol.
And this is what's going to happen to you soon.
I
Oh
know,
gosh,
right?
this
These
is
are-
going to be fun.
They're old enough to stay home, but they're 15, 16, and you're going
Oh.
away for... You think you can leave them for a night at 16, 17,
I
and you
know.
come home and your neighbors go, well, I'm sorry that we had to call the police, but there were 400 of them.
I know. I'm hoping the invention of social media changes that a bit because now kids, it's going to
Yeah.
be so easy to know your house is,
Right.
about to explode.
The
with-
digital footprint, like they stepped
Yeah.
here, they were here, they touched
Lee and
this, they
Meg.
touched that.
We got to go.
Okay,
Fine.
guys.
Bye.
We got to go. Thanks for coming in. We'll have you back maybe a little after. We'll lead up to Easter. See if you survive March break.
With the Easter Bunny.
We will be right back here at What She Said on Sirius XM.
Click the channel subscribe button for full-length interviews and more from What She Said here on YouTube.